Okay,
There.
no puedo.
No, it was just to make it a nice
cut.
cut.
All right, so here we are. We've got zero information here. We've got no chat. It's coming in. We've got no info. How many viewers? Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Robin, hello.
There it is.
Trish.
Well, welcome. We're here
Welcome.
for receiving your questions.
This is interesting. Robin and Trish, who have commented, maybe others are live as well, but Robin and Trish will be seeing both of you in May of next year. Trish is coming down with her daughter.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And
Amazing.
Robin's coming down again, of course.
With Lisa, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, well, no. Looking forward to see you all of you again and hang out in Costa Rica.
Very awesome. Yeah.
See.
So here, our chat isn't working, so I'm going to have to be looking at the phone.
Oh, we can
For
refresh
comments.
also constantly. So we're here. It's been 2 weeks, so I hope you have a lot of questions. Think of these like
Andrea's here.
like when you are in Char's session as well. Char is one of the team members of the retreat, and she is part of the team, and she helps us with health coaching. So it's really interesting because when we're in those meetings, people have so many questions that there's not enough time to cover everything during the whole week. So think about this moment of 1 hour. Same thing. This is the moment where you ask questions about food, you ask questions about the protocols, questions about any disbalance. Same principle. Then when you have thousands of questions when you are at the retreat, this is also the moment to answer. So I hope you're all doing well.
Lau, you have any wins? In the meantime, I'm going to catch up with some of the comments here. So, yes, Robin says, yes, you will. Yes, you will see us. Trish, woohoo. Trish, looking forward to meeting you and your daughter, says Robin. Katie's in the house. Hello, Katie. Robin says, so prepping for the liver flush this week, just confirming no issues with continuing the kidney tea at the same time. Great question.
See, so I can go back to the book and triple check because I don't quite remember, but that's one of the, it's written in the book for sure because I remember I read it. I haven't mixed them. So what we do is during the prep week, we also drink chancapiedra, but that's very specific because that's what we get here. And that you can mix. You prepare with chancapiedra and then you do also the liver flush. But let me...
I didn't touch anything.
I didn't say anything. Did I say anything that it was Joe?
I'm going to have to watch the replay. I'm going to see what your face said. All right, what do we got? So,
all right, let me triple check because it's right here. Okay. In the meantime,
Robin also says, okay, I can also reference the book as well then now.
Yeah, it's definitely there, but I want to
check.
Let's see, kidney tea.
And Katie, I see your question there as well.
1 second. Let's do this once and for all.
While you're doing that, I'm going to grab a towel quick for the floor.
Okay, 341. Page 341.
This was already wet from this morning from the beach.
Okay. If you're doing liver flushes, make certain that you do a kidney cleanse after every 3 or 4 liver flushes. So you're good, right? If you feel your body's toxic or you have a history of kidney problems, make certain to do a kidney cleanse before attempting your first liver flush. You may also combine the kidney cleanse with the liver flush preparation, except don't take the kidney cleanse tea on day 6, which is the first day you drink the Epsom salts, and then 7 of the liver flush. Interrupting the kidney cleanse for these 2 days will not significantly interfere with its effectiveness. Simply make up for the lost days by adding 2 to 3 extra days at the end. This is in page 342. Okay, just in case. That's like the important additional instructions.
Okay. All right.
So-
let's see here.
No.
Okay, so let's see here. Katie then asks, can I do the herb tea, the kidney tea, with the diatomaceous earth protocol?
I would suggest to separate them so you have a better understanding of how does it feel. You don't want to mix, not because it's not safe, but because it is very important that you understand how the body feels with the kidney cleanse tea, and to have the results, to see what's coming out. And then there's no confusion when you start the DE protocol. You can have other symptoms or effects of detoxification, so you want to make sure to compartmentalize in a way the protocols. So in this one, not because it's not safe, but for you to know, to understand how does it feel to do one, how does it feel to do the other, ideally.
I'm going to slide this just a sec. There we go.
Okay. So
Okay.
it is safe because the teas, it's at one time, but also, I wouldn't mix them just for the first time, at least to have your own experience. Makes sense?
Makes sense.
I haven't speak in English in like 3 weeks, so. Uy.
So Robin says, yeah, I've used Chanca Piedra as well, but not this time.
Yeah.
And Robin, yeah, that's funny, Jared. See, love, it is funny.
It's not funny. It's not funny because I never said anything that you pushed me or did any phase that it was you. It was me. It fell out of my hands.
Okay. It's all good. Okay, so Robin, I'm assuming regarding to the book, the page, what page was it? 300 and
343.
Thank you. Okay. So Lau, wins? Any wins? I have to constantly post
Yes,
a
I can
comment
see
for
that.
it to refresh.
All right.
So if you see me saying hi and hello, it's just to refresh the chat.
Okay. No, I think we're alive and safe.
You have no wins?
And
2 weeks, no wins?
That's like the most beautiful thing, that we're safe, we're back home, and we're healthy. And that's huge already. So super, super simple, but very meaningful because we've been out for a couple of days. And I'm just grateful I'm back home. Yeah, it was difficult to come back to computer. I was mentioning yesterday, I didn't want to touch the computer or the phone. It was too difficult. But here we are because this is important. And I know you're counting on us as well as we're counting on you. So upward and upward and onward. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Robin says, are you seeing things come out with the kidney tea? I haven't noticed a difference. The first few days, I felt like a very light, crampy feeling on the left side, but I haven't noticed a difference in my pee.
see, not necessarily. Also, in the book explains that you can have different symptoms. Some of them can be also related to detox symptoms. Probably most of you already know how does it feel. And sometimes there can be some sort of sand, elimination of sand, or a little bit more of a dense urine. Because if you have big kidney stones, like they won't come out like that. If they come out of the kidney, it's painful. Maybe you know somebody that has had kidney stones, and when they're passing through the stones to eliminate through the pee, it's extremely, extremely painful. Like meaning ER, like take me to the hospital because it's too painful. So the idea with this tea is to slowly, very gently, to disintegrate, diminish the size, and eliminate as gentle as possible whatever is accumulated in the kidneys. Of course, if you have like big stuff, then you would have other most evident symptoms, and those won't dissolve easily. So, in a period of 20 to 30 days, it's progressive and slow, but it's consistent for you to eliminate the little things, the little particles. Same as in the liver flush, there's a preparation to soften the stones. So when they come out, there's no pain. And you can see that there's little stones, maybe they're bigger stones at some point. Maybe they start clumping and coming out bigger. But for the kidneys, a very, very soft, gentle tissue, that would be too painful. So sandy stuff, also you can refer to the book. There's other explanations of what can come out, but there can be some sensation for sure.
Pepito is a handful, and he's got something, so I'll be right back.
See, Pepito's getting big. It's not Pepito anymore.
Pepote.
We have to change his name, and we've been praying that he stays small, but I don't think the universe is collaborating in that aspect.
The universe has its own plans.
It seems it has completely opposite plans.
Pepito might be big.
Yeah.
But anyways, Katie says, I could not get all the ingredients for the kidney tea. I will get the remaining next week.
Yeah. So just when you have everything, make sure that that's when you start. That's very, very important because each herb has a function in this. In this cleansing. If you want, I can suggest that you can start with the DE protocol if you already have the diatomaceous earth home. Give it some time. And once you start feeling it, let's say 2-3 weeks, you start feeling how does the body feel with diatomaceous earth, because it can be a little intense. Then you reassess and feel if it's a good idea to start with the kidney cleanse or if you leave it for before. That's a possibility. Because if you notice, the DE protocol takes a long time. If you saw the sheet that I made, it's like a lot. Okay, but at least give some time to this DE protocol and do not use anything else. Just give it some time, feel it. How does this feel in your body? How does this feel in your gut? Same thing. And once you have like a better understanding, then you can start adding the other protocols. If that makes sense.
Katie says, my 5-pound dog is getting the diatomaceous earth with me, and she has been puking a little.
Okay. So in that case, make sure, triple check that the dose is the correct one for that size. Also, I think it would be important to see how are you mixing it with the food. If you're putting that in dry food, if you're putting that in fresh food, if you're mixing dry and wet food, because sometimes people mix the dry food or the kibble with some sort of fresh food or moist things just to make the DE sticks and doesn't flow everywhere. So just make sure that's not happening. You want to make sure you're only feeding dry or you're only feeding wet. Perhaps the only thing you would do is spray a little bit of water in the kibble just to make the DE stick to the little particles or to the
Kibble.
kibble. But do not mix it because sometimes those mixes of fresh and dry are the ones that create problems. So just let me know how are you doing it, just to give you more info.
And Robin says, I forgot a few nights. Let's see here. I forgot a few nights to put it in overnight, so the next morning I just got it to a boil and simmered it. So it wasn't as strong, but I drank it anyhow.
Okay. So little things you learn along the way and you start getting used to. And you felt that it wasn't strong enough. Still, you can make up at the end for maybe those 2 days, but truly it won't make such a big difference because you have a window. You have the possibility of doing it, give or take 20 to 30 days. So
She said, I will say that I actually felt very tired, which isn't my usual.
okay.
And I was like, who is this? Who's staying small? Did you get a new family member? Yeah, Robin. Wow, this is a lot. I think
Yeah, I sent
you had to have heard about it.
Pepito.
So this is back in August, I think. This is just before the detox retreat in August, literally like a week before. A dog adopted us. We saw him on the side of the road, and here he is. And he's growing a lot.
So I don't know if there a few weeks ago, and the Monday email had his photo, and he's like curled in his bed like tiny dog. And that was maybe a few days after we adopted him, which was like he was like this size, probably.
Bigger than that.
Well, like maybe this size.
Easily
No,
like this,
it
for
wasn't.
sure.
It wasn't this size. Anyways, it was
He was
very
small.
small. We even thought like, oh my gosh, maybe
It's a
he's
Chihuahua.
a Chihuahua mix. Yeah, right. Not at all. Not a chance. So now he's big and he's humping already the bed. What to do?
Katie says, I did start the diatomaceous protocol.
Okay.
All right. And Katie says, I'm giving her 1/8. I'm assuming 1/8 of a teaspoon.
Okay.
1/8. And Katie says, fresh food.
Okay. For how long you've been giving that to her? For how many days already? And if the vomit is every day, because it could be related or it could be something else. Could be that she ate something or so we have to make sure is because it's a little strong for her. So 1/8 is a very small dose. So
For 5
for
pound dog.
5 pound, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And we just have to make sure. Sometimes also the body takes some time to get used to. And remember, the DE is detoxifying. It's high in minerals.
So I think she started Monday.
Okay. It's highly detoxifying as well, cleansing, so you can have detox symptoms.
So
A dog can have detox symptoms, same as us.
they puke in 2 days now.
And today is
Wednesday.
So 2 out of 3 days, correct?
We started on Monday, and then so yeah, Monday, Tuesday, today's Wednesday.
And also, let me know if she eats and she vomits right away, or like type of reflux, or if she eats, some time passes, let's say an hour, 2 hours, and then she vomits the digestive food. So also please let me know.
Robin says, this week was a rough one because I found out that a very close friend has ovarian cancer. She was tested for genetic testing and had BRCA gene, so last year had double mastectomy as prevention, but was supposed to also have a hysterectomy, but put it off. Now she has this, and it is spread. It was a wake-up call when sometimes I slip or don't want to prioritize my detox over my fun. I couldn't do when I was out camping, etc. I changed my plans for this week with new moon to do liver flush. I've taken her some fresh juice for morning and made her a veggie meal, sharing some resources with her, but it's so sad to see what traditional medicine doctors are treating her. Stay down, stay down.
So a few things on that. Soul journey. Each soul journey has a way. There's always a purpose, a higher purpose. So we have to trust. The other thing is we have to honor people's decision if they want to be treated in one way or another way. Western, holistically, we just honor their path. Very important to have that super clear. The other thing is that remember that a different perspective on disease or sickness is that sickness is the latest state of healing, last stage of healing, because finally the emotions came out. Like finally, the body is just like purging out that history, the emotions that haven't been able to be expressed and processed in a healthy manner. The other thing is for new Germanic medicine, this is key, the fact that this is the last stage of healing, and there's always an emotional cause that can be addressed. For the new Germanic medicine and different perspectives on medicine and healing, when things spread is not because it spread, it's because it created a conflict, a different conflict related to the sickness. So for example, if you have ovarian cancer and it spreads to the liver, it's not like it's a metastasis, is because the trauma or the conflict that creates the initial disease generates another conflict that manifests as a spread. So it's a different way of seeing things. It's an emotional conflict, and then that creates another emotional conflict. Yeah.
Talking about conflict.
The other thing is never the fault of the genes. It's not that the genes are defective. It's not about the genes creating a problem. Remember that in epigenetics, we can turn on. It's just chewing my sock. Everything, yeah. You can turn on and turn off genes. So they're not the problem. I feel that when you have huge or big surgical procedures, that creates a conflict on itself. So if she originally was told that their genetic information it has a problem there, already that creates a conflict in you, like a deep one, because they are your genes, and it's not genes, it's about lifestyle. Remember.
Venga. Shh. Stay down.
So if we put him on the room, he destroys the door. So we have different challenges. No. Different challenges. And we rent a house. So, okay. So he's already destroying the door.
So going back. I think, Lau, I could be mistaken. I haven't read the messages, but Robin is basically just saying, hey, it was a wake-up call for her. She's just giving some context of a very close friend. No. She's like biting my feet.
Sorry.
Stay down.
My gosh. Let me put him, it's enough.
So, all right, I'll wait.
No. Oh my God.
It's at that stage where everything has to put everything in the mouth. Everything, like feet, slippers, chairs, Everything but the toys we bought him.
All right.
Anyway, so what I'm assuming here, Robin is just kind of sharing, like, oh, wow, it's a wake up call. So every time I feel like I prefer to do something else instead of prioritizing my cleanses, it was a wake up call. It's like, okay, no, I'm going to make this a priority, and this is important, and I am making my health the priority in my life. And yeah, it's a crazy, crazy thing. I've seen people, again, like a lot of you have heard my mom, the situation that she's going through, the healing journey, and it's such a huge wake up call, because sometimes we get a little complacent and a little bit, I don't know if lazy is the right word, but just, yeah, a little complacent. And man, seeing what some people are going through, and again, understanding everyone has their own journey, and that's perfectly perfect how it is. But knowing that now in our 40s, 50s, 60s, the decisions we're making now is going to determine our health 10, 15, 20 years from now. It's like, oh, wow, okay. It starts to make those decisions a lot easier, and it's not so much of a hassle or inconvenience, or, oh, this is too expensive, or, fill in the blank that we've all used. And of course, we've heard thousands and thousands of times, right? So,
So going back to the original idea and understanding that you come from that place of telling us that what you're doing is important, my point was to also inform to the ones who are listening or watching the replay to pay attention to those things, because there are many possibilities, and there's also not a problem in the genes, so you can always turn them off, and with proper lifestyle. And the other thing that I was going to say that is crucial and is important is that all the things that we do here, you always have to notice from which place you're doing them, because it's not about doing them from a place of fear of, oh, if I don't do the protocol, or, oh my gosh, you know if there's some sort of fear because you're missing or you're not doing the protocols, that's not the right place. You have to do them from a place of, I get to do this. Yes, I have this opportunity. And if I don't do them because I'm having fun and I'm enjoying life, fine. You just do what you need to do when you go back home. But never, never, never act from a place of fear, especially doing and implementing whatever we're doing here. This is huge because we're used to our programming, our chip here is that we are being manipulated with fear over and over and over and over, everywhere, finances, education, medical, family, you name it. It's always from a place of fear. So we want this wellness academy to be a space where everything you get to do is because you choose, and because you're happy to do it, and because you get to experiment and have fun in your own body and to thrive. But don't ever, and I'm not saying this is your case, but in general, check, do a self evaluation that everything you're doing is from a place different than fear. Very important. Or lack, you know
okay, so jumping from there back to Katie. Excuse me. Katie says she vomits way later.
Okay.
And what else we got here? Okay, yeah, puking 2 days now.
Okay.
Okay, Trish says,
Entonces, nada más para referirme a eso. So, just Katie, so make sure she's hydrating a lot. When you're drinking D8, you have to hydrate a lot, way more. So that's one thing, and you can diminish a little bit the dose. I know this is already a small dose, but you can start half of that, which is just a tiny bit, and do it for 1 week, and then you go to the normal dose and see what happens. Okay, so diminish and start even slower or less quantity.
All right, catching up. Trish says, okay, sorry to hear about that. Sorry to hear that news, Robin. And Robin says, somehow I missed the new puppy. I'll have to look now for a cute picture. Andrea also sending good vibes. Sorry to hear, Robin. Robin says, but now I appreciate that perspective with the conflict because I wondered if you are trying to remove a part of your body to prevent disease,
Exactly.
but they don't tell the patient anything to change lifestyle.
Exactly. And imagine from which place also they are telling you that you have to do this procedure from. It's a place of fear. If you don't do this, then this something else worse is going to happen. And imagine the emotional impact that a double mastectomy has for a woman of nurture, you know. This generates a conflict, yes or yes, and it's going to manifest. No wonder it manifests in another organ that is feminine organ, an organ that only a woman has, the ovaries. So it's like intertwined. The boobs, the female boobs, and the female genital um, organs are highly related. So no wonder it created a conflict right there. This is extreme, crazy, fear-based medicine. The thing is that she decided to believe it. She decided it was her decision to do it, to follow through instead of looking for other options, other perspectives. That's her journey.
Yeah. It's a good point about lifestyle. At a conversation with my mom, she was going, back and forth with some ideas and should she do this, should she not do this, and also relating to cancer. So, she had heard something along the lines of, well, if you do this procedure, that procedure, well, then it spreads, or the percentage of the cancer coming back is such and such. I'm like, maybe that's the case, but you're not looking at the whole picture, because I'm willing to bet those studies and those numbers are dealing with people that had zero lifestyle change and they continue to do the same exact thing that created the environment that produced an environment where cancer came about in the first place. So zero changes, of course it's going to come back because nothing's changed. Mm-hmm. So that's definitely a good point with the lifestyle.
But for cancer patients, there's always a huge emotional impact, like something huge. There's always some sort of very strong emotion, whether it's like super fast and people cannot really address that. It's like, people don't know how to manage those emotions, or it's something that people has been accumulating for years and years and years and years of resentment, of hate, of you name it, and then it pops out. So there's always a very strong emotional cause that creates that, literally, the bitterness, the sadness, that environment in the body, because it's not just the toxins, the parasites, it's the emotions. You have to see cancer with the emotional part. Like, there's no way, there's no any disease, but specifically that one that creates so much fear and generates so much movement in people around, family members. It's like almost like a death sentence.
Quick question for you. Like, real talk, just like a question. So if we look at, and again, I know the data may be skewed, but if we look at rates of cancer over the years, it's definitely increased, right?
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, so has the amount of toxins that we're exposed to at unprecedented levels. So, I mean, that makes a lot of sense on the bar graph.
See?
But if we're talking about the core being emotional, what do you think it is about lifestyle today that's causing more people to have conflicts as opposed to 50 or 100 years ago?
Well, it's disconnection from nature. Clearly. Clearly. It's like if we're disconnected from the mother, if we're disconnected from well-being around being surrounded by nature, we're in rubber shoes all the time, we're disconnected physically, like we create this layer. The water, the water that it's alive, it's not alive anymore, it's in the tap water full with medications, it's too far away from nature. uh, People don't really spend as much time outdoors as it used to. Now there's artificial lights, there's office, there's AC, there's scents, there is phones. People is with the computer, with the phone all the time, instead of admiring nature, instead of looking at the stars, instead of creating fire and creating a relationship with the elements. We've lost connection with nature, and that has brought us sickness. And with that emotional part, because when we're separate from nature, we cannot manage our emotions in the same way. If we're stuck with the phone and the computer all day, numbing ourselves because this is the easy way out and we're used to, and we're addicted already to electronics and consuming information as crazy. Our sympathetic nervous system is constantly high. Our cortisol levels are constantly high. If we want to replenish, if we want to renew, if we want to heal, we have to go back to the rest and digest parasympathetic nervous system activation. And that happens perfectly in nature, in community, barefoot, drinking water that's alive, eating organic foods, seasonal foods. Like, lifestyle. Do you live in a house full of synthetic wood-like stuff with carpets and plastic things in your clothes and in your mattress and in your pillow and in, like, seriously, it's disconnection from everything that's natural, that it's provided by nature. People don't get sunlight anymore, they're afraid, so they put sunblock all over. They don't get resilient, or they don't do anything to get more resilient to the sun, to receive the benefits of sunlight. They cover it with sunblock, which is toxic. You also People wear sunglasses all the time, do not receive the light through your eyes, which is the natural thing. You're blocking the sun, you're blocking the frequency, the healing frequencies of the sun. We live in environments full of contamination, smog, smoke, again, those crazy scents. Go back to nature, go back to simplicity. Notice what's in your house. Remember, one of the previous missions is like, really, really, if you can change your pillow, start changing your pillow, change your sheets to organic cotton. If you can, change your mattress to find an organic cotton or natural fibers mattress. If you have carpeting in your house, remove it, find some different type of floor. I don't know if you remember that mission, but we spoke about those things. Like, what do you have? What type of home you have? Some things you cannot change, but some things you can.
Catching up. We've got, okay, Robin. The good thing is she's open to being healthy. She has asked me for help knowing what I do, knowing that I do, to try my best to have healthy choices. So maybe she'll make some changes. Awesome. Raza, oh, Lau, you get me. Thank you. Yes, I don't want to do this from fear base. I did say to Lisa, we know what to do. We shouldn't have excuses, but I do want to be sure to leave our fear and lack, leave out the fear and lack
Yes,
mentality.
100%.
Andrea says Western medicine isn't interested in healing. That would collapse the system. It's super frustrating. My mom had breast cancer in her 50s and then colon cancer that spread to the liver in her 70s. They never told her to change her lifestyle, so she didn't. I told her, but I wasn't the right person for her to hear it from. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And we have to honor their soul journey as it is.
So Trish says, high cortisol is an issue with some in my family. Advice to begin to address this?
I would say it sounds a little bit like you think it's like a family thing. It's not a family thing.
It's a world population, Western world thing.
It's a lifestyle thing. It's not in your family. It's in everybody that has this type of lifestyle. So this is not something you should be worried about. Like, oh my gosh, in my family, this runs in my family. No, it's not like that. It's not like that. It's just lifestyle choices. So everything I said, go back to nature, manage your stress, enjoy life. I would say, what do you do to have fun? Like, and for all of you listening, what do you do to have fun? What brings you joy? Like, think about that and really act upon that. Because if you're having fun, healthy way, of course, in a healthy way, not getting drunk and just partying all night, but in a healthy way, how do you have fun? How do you find joy in your life? Going back to nature, slowing down, stop using so much electronics, eat well, cook your food, enjoy cooking your food because food is as medicine, you know. That's something you shouldn't be worried about. So manage stress, it's a lifestyle thing. It's not a family thing. Whoever told you that,
So,
I would really question that.
well, no, I think what she's saying is like she has people in her family that struggle or have high cortisol. It's not
Yeah.
saying like it's a
Okay,
family thing.
but
So,
just to clarify,
if you look at everything we've done in Wellness Academy over the years, it's looking at the foundations of the mental, the physical. Are you exercising? Is there exercise? What type of exercise? How often? Are we looking at the emotions? We're looking at our beliefs. And then, of course, yeah, stress management. Like, what are we doing to drop down from the fight or flight type? Are we meditating? Are we like what are we doing throughout the day? That, and of course, a big thing, especially one thing that just came in, is like so many people are drinking coffee
to stay awake
to stay awake
or to
because
go
they're
through
so
the
tired.
day.
Yeah, to like, oh, I need a coffee to get me going. Well, bam, you're starting the day off, and that's just it's going to help you produce more and more cortisol right off the bat. So those are some of the things.
That's a good indicator. Like if you cannot go through the day without coffee, there's something that you definitely have to change in your lifestyle because that's not natural. One thing is enjoying coffee once in a while, doing your coffee enemas, but not to needing the coffee to go throughout the day. That's not healthy whatsoever.
So some of the things just right off the top of my mind that help the body get into the parasympathetic. Every week we've got sound sessions or breath work. Both of those incredibly powerful in dropping us into the parasympathetic nervous system. You've got meditation. What else you got?
Exercise.
Crucial.
Exercise. Resting properly. Remember, I don't know if you were here with the 3-2-1 mission. 1 hour before bed, no electronics. 2 hours before bed, just diminish the amount of liquids. 3 hours before bed, no food. Like disconnect the router at night. No TV in your bedroom. Like sleeping properly is crucial for managing cortisol. Get a good organic pillow, organic cotton sheets, organic underwear, pajamas. Don't put any scents, perfumes, fragrances, none of that stuff. Like find a way of having a good, proper sleep that manages cortisol extremely well. Nature is wise. You don't have to consume things, you just have to go back to your natural state. And maybe perhaps you can drink some adaptogenic mushrooms or adaptogenic herbs at night that will help you, but it's not the cure. Like the cure is lifestyle changes. Okay. Earbuds, the wireless earbuds, get rid of those. That's going to fry your brain. Use EMF protectors. Hydrate really well, good quality filtered water. Go and make the fire. This was 2 weeks ago. Go and make a fire. Work with the fire. Be in nature outside. How does it feel?
Awesome. So, Robin, we've got this friend has been very unhappy with her physical look as she is aging. She was doing changes to her hair, lip injections, and changing her teeth to get veneers, and always being very self conscious of her body. When she was a beautiful woman, and I could never understand how she didn't see that. So she has had a lot of emotional conflict with her self esteem and constant worry about what other people would say. She asked me a few times to take down a post on Facebook because I had a picture of us and she thought she looked horrible. So I just stopped posting pics with her in it. So I think the emotional element is a big thing I didn't think about with the cancer.
See, there's a lot. In Ayurvedic medicine, they say the cancer is a lack of self-love disease, and everything that entails, lack of self-love.
Robin says, I love the fire mission. Such a peaceful thing to just sit and watch the fire. Of course, Robin, especially on the camping trips, all the camping that you do.
And tell me, like, that brings you to rest and digest, just like that, and to presence, to the present time. Because when you're working with the fire, whether you're present or you get burned. So, I'm telling you, the missions we offer you are not like random stuff. Like I know we have this thing about rolling the eyes, which is super funny. But truly, there's things beyond what's obvious, and once you do them, it's like, huh, oh, when was the last time you started a fire from scratch?
A few days ago.
Yeah, well, but you, without cheating, without using combustible, fuel, or
Gasoline.
some sort of chemical stuff.
Well, we started a fire, and that fire was burning for 4 days straight. Actually, 5 days. So after the ceremony, it was still lit for a following day. So rain, shine, wind, the fire stayed lit, Lau, for
I know.
5 days.
Yeah, I was there. But truly, and it was a beautiful, mission to connect with us, with the fire, the ceremonial fire we had as a community with your fire back home. So there was also an energetic connection through space.
Space doesn't exist, Lau.
In a way, yeah, it doesn't. So,
where do we go from here?
Any other last question? So just Katie, to summarize, diminish dose in half for 1 week and then go back to the normal dose.
Half, 1/16.
Like just half of that test. And see if she keeps vomiting or not. Or you can stop giving it for a few days, see if she vomits, and start again. Like test. You can have a week or two of just testing. And then once you have it figured out, then you can start from zero. I've been giving them DE already for more than over a month. Both of them. Great results. No vomiting, no digestive issues, nothing. And we have a puppy and a older dog. So that's at least a good reference for me.
All right. Katie says, thank you. Will do.
Yeah.
All right.
And also, if any of your friends wants to come to the retreat, of course, you're welcome. You will be pampered, and we will treat you so good with all the respect and consideration. And just to know that we already have like 11 people, and we don't have many more options. So
I was going to say that. Sorry for interrupting. Yeah. So we've got 11 people signed up already. Depending on the room configurations, of course, I know some of you will have double rooms. So we may have space, 1, 3, maybe 4 people, give or take, like the way things usually kind of pan out. This last retreat, just because of the room configuration, there's only 13 people. We already have 11. And yeah, so if it's something that's of interest, now's the time. We haven't started a full-on campaign of sending emails and letting people know. And I think,
and 7 of you are repeat.
Yeah, there's 7 repeats.
7 repeats.
Lau's mom's coming again.
Yeah, mom's coming again.
For her second time.
Yeah. And what else?
So there too, I know we've mentioned this, but maybe if you haven't seen it, again, we've done this. We've recommended it to friends and family, and it's so powerful and so good, and we believe in it so much that we have family members coming down. Of course, the ones that are open to it.
Yeah.
I've told my mom and dad to come down many times, and it's a no for now. No. But yeah, Lau's mom coming down for a second time. So that should give you an idea as well how much we believe in this.
So don't hesitate. It's completely worth it. Your investment is worth it. And also, we're going to have Elizabeth coming for her 4th time or something. She's going to give us a small CPR training, like emergency medicine training.
She's like she trains trainers in CPR and also other types of first responder scenarios and
so she's gonna teach us. Last time she taught us some basics, but this time she really wants to share her medicine, her knowledge.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
CPR and emergency, like short, sweet, straight to the point, like she is. She's really good at it. I mean, and we're gonna have that opportunity. So if you ever wanted to learn a little bit of emergency medicine, this is your chance as well.
What do we got here? So Robin says, I get to watch this week's mission soon to see the next pesticide protocol. Pesticide protocol.
Once liver flush is done, I will first do castor oil pills. Great. This is the good thing, Robin. That
maybe she meant parasites, or maybe it was a
parasite.
Autocorrect.
But this is the nice thing about this. That then you start choosing, like, okay, this week I feel that my body would like this, or I remember about the famous carrot juice. I think I'm in for that this week. And then you start adapting, not adapting the protocols, but the times and the moments where you want to do specific things because your body's asking.
And Rob says, is there anything different with this retreat from the last one? Sound, yoga, Ashley, etc.
Well, Elizabeth, for sure.
And she met Elizabeth.
Yeah, and we'll see if we can get Christina to come. Still, we're seeing to see if she can fit her her schedule with the retreat, which is a specifically fascia blaster with facials. She came 2 retreats ago, and she did extra sessions, and it's absolutely amazing. I can only say that I received one of her treatments. I wish I could do that every week. It would be like no wrinkles, and not like, she's amazing.
And Robin, so yeah, basically, I mean, every retreat we take feedback and things, but yeah, same basic concept. You got the full juicing and colonic or kalema protocol. Yes, we'll have sound every night. Yes, there'll be yoga. Actually, it's been really cool because since you were here, there's a handful of people that have taken Ashley's fascia advancement course. So they also offer some fascia blasting classes as well. You'll get another full hour session with Cindy, full body blast with Cindy. We'll see what Ashley comes up with. If she has us over to the house for sunset, or if she just comes over and hangs out at the retreat center. We'll flow with it with her, of course, in her schedule. But it'll be awesome. And Jenny's joining us. Hey, Jenny! Good to see you, Jenny.
How have you been?
That'd be amazing. A very cool facial. Yeah.
Oh, man. You'll never see facials in the same way. I really hope she can make it. Trying to work something out. But, yeah. And keeping it simple as well, because we don't want to overwhelm with too much activities, too many things, considering that you're in a strong detox and you need to rest. So we don't want people to feel FOMO and just get more tired than when they come. But actually, it's just tapping into the power of simplicity and the power of resting.
Yeah. And since you were here as well, they've done some remodeling. There's a cold plunge. There's a sauna now.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's amazing.
It's with all of those things, there's plenty to do, and there's plenty of time to rest and just do nothing but lay in the hammock all afternoon. So,
all right.
And just like that, Lau,
we're done.
An hour flies by. So
thank you for coming. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for keeping this group alive with your presence.
And let us know if this is a better time than the 4:30.
Maybe it's a little late.
Yeah. We'll play again. We can continue to play around with some hours and see what works best. But in the meantime, enjoy the rest of the week.
Thank you.
We're here if you need anything.
Ciao.
Ciao for now.
Gracias.
Ciao, ciao.